Broadway shows dazzle visitors from around the world. The costumes, set designs, and bright lights all people who walk past the Great White Way. While these Broadway masterpieces might live in your memory forever, many of them will eventually have their final curtain call. Once a show is over, it could potentially leave behind thousands of pounds of trash, filling landfills, and only adding to our environmental issues. One company is reusing pieces of some of Broadway's most famous shows and turning them into these cool, memorable handbags and other accessories. And it's giving you a chance to take some of theater's history home. Literally. How? Stay tuned because that's what we're checking out in this week's episode. How are these theater items contributing to the climate crisis? What theater items are being used, and how do you turn them into bags and accessories? To find the answers, we'll talk to a group that's upcycling all of this into this. This is Jennifer Kahn, and she's made it her mission to collect theater backdrops and upcycle them into these adorable bags.
The world of storytelling is so important, and what theater is doing is so beautiful and so vital, but where we're missing the mark, unfortunately, is what we're doing to the environment. And everything that comes off of a set, it goes to a landfill, even though the drops are canvas drops. When they decompose in the landfill, they cause methane gases.
In 2017, Jennifer founded Scenery Bags, a Texas-based company that turns theatrical leftovers into new memorable items. She began collecting set backdrops from theaters and set rental companies that were being thrown away. In addition to backdrops, Jennifer also collects laminated stage floors.
We collect from any Broadway show that's closing that's not going to end up touring, or even if they're touring, they may be cutting some drops, they may be cutting some of their set inventory. We have things from long-running shows because drop got dirty or burnt by a light or hung up on a piece of scenery and got a hole in it. We take the scenic drops, they're large stage size drops that set the scene. They're many times hand painted or printed. They're beautiful works of art, and they usually end up in a landfill. And so it made perfect sense to upcycle these into bags.
So how does a backdrop become a bag? First, the company has a truck pick up the items from theaters and set rental companies and then brings them to the facility in Houston, Texas. Jennifer says Scenery Bags takes on all shipping expenses to make sure there's no cost to theaters and producers for working with them, making the process as easy as possible to participate in. Once the items arrive at the facility, they are separated by color and material. Velour backdrops are cut down into the size of a bed sheet and sent to a dry cleaner to get washed. Painted backdrops are cut and then gently hand washed. Once they're clean, the items go into production, where a layer of interfacing is added to make the material more stiff. Next, everything is sewn together with a sewing machine into one of the many bag styles available, such as pouches, tote bags, and evening clutches. Lining and zippers are added after that. Then the bag is ready to be sold. One stage curtain can make anywhere between 800 and 1,000 bags. The clutch bags are the size of a playbill, so they can safely hold your program. And because of the material's unique origins, no two bags are the same.
The drops come in all various colors, shapes, and sizes, and everything that comes in, we get to redesign. Every bag we make is essentially a custom. Even if it's the same exact shape we've done 100 times, it's a new drop, it's a new fabric, some are painted very thickly, some are printed, so it's always going to sew different.
It all began when Jennifer, a former professional stage manager on Broadway, was inspired while being on a road trip in 2015. She and a friend wandered into a store selling bags made from boat sails, and she realized the same could be done with discarded theater backdrops.
I was a professional stage manager for 17 years. I got to work on national tours and Broadway and off-Broadway and regionally, and I loved it. But what made me so sad was when they would throw our sets away when the show closed, because I would watch my friends in the scenic shop spend hours painting these drops, and they were imbued with not only the audience memories of the show, but our memories of the show as the company. And so I always knew that I wanted to try to help theater reduce theatrical waste if I could. And when I came up with this idea, it all kind of made sense.
What began as a hobby quickly turned into a full-time job after Jennifer's videos of her creations went viral on Instagram.
And it's been so overwhelmingly beautiful. I get emails at least once a week from people who say, I now own a piece of the first Broadway show I ever saw, or the first Broadway show I was ever in, or the last Broadway show I ever saw with my mom, or shows that they got engaged on. The ripple effect of how special these pieces are to remember this once in a lifetime moment in a theater.
So why is this mission so important to Jennifer? In the US alone, 11.3 million tons of textiles were sent to landfills in 2018. Fabrics made out of natural fibers act similarly to food waste in landfills, producing methane while slowly breaking down without oxygen. Synthetic fibers like those in laminated stage floors take hundreds of thousands of years to break down in a landfill. They can't be incinerated because they contain aluminum oxide coating, which can release toxic chemicals into the air and be harmful for breathing. A study published in the journal SN Applied Sciences predicted that continuing to dispose of textiles in the current manner will result in an accumulation of more than 4.9 million tons of textile waste by 2040. To do its part in decreasing waste, Scenery Bags aims to become standard practice within the Broadway community and beyond. In the first 5 years, Scenery Bags has collected more than 30,000 pounds of theater items, and 30 shows have found a new life. In addition to purses, Scenery Bags makes keychains out of promotional banners and jewelry out of stage floors. It has produced bags and accessories from various well-known shows, including Kinky Boots, Mamma Mia, Wicked, Mean Girls, The Lion King, and Beetlejuice. The bags and accessories can be purchased on Scenery Bags' website and at the Museum of Broadway and the Drama Bookshop in New York City. Scenery Bags is also giving back by supporting the Theater Development Fund and donating a minimum of 10% of proceeds from each sale to its Introduction to Theater program. The program offers workshops to middle and high school students, as well as opportunities to attend Broadway and off-Broadway performances, giving a new generation a chance to experience theater.
It's so special, and it's so special on so many levels because I truly believe that these students who are being introduced to theater through TDF will grow up and be performers or storytellers, and they're stories that we need to be part of the theatrical canon. And I'm so excited that they have access and guidance into those mediums should they want to follow that line.
Want to help with your local theater's waste problem? Jennifer says that anyone interested in donating theater waste can visit Scenery Bags' website, find the donation dropdown, and send them a message. Scenery Bags will arrange a pickup and turn the waste into memorable items.
I always say that I accidentally found my dream job, and I'm getting to do something that's so hugely important to me on every level, that we're helping the environment, that we're saving these people's art. That means so much to me and others, and also fostering a new generation of theater goers. I'm so proud of this company and what we've done on every single level, and it's such a community effort. And I could not do this without the generosity of the amazing theatrical community and the Broadway community.
So what do you think? Do you have a favorite Broadway memory? Have you come across a closed theater, and do you know what it did with its set materials? What will you do if you encounter closing theater in the future? Let us know in the comments below.